Welcome, welcome, welcome all to Daytona, the International Speedway, and welcome, of course, to the first race of the season here for the Tanso Racing Group. And it says promo in there, but it's not the promo, it's round one, of course, here. And back with me again to bring the fantastic action is Mr. Jim Cunningham. How are you?
Doing great, man. It's great to be here again. Of course, we're going to be together all season doing these races, and yeah, it's great to be at Daytona. It's the week of the Daytona 24 hours, so a lot of exciting Daytona action this week.
Yeah, some of these drivers are getting some early practice session if they will be involved in the 24-hour Daytona, most likely somewhere along the line here with the 22 or 3 drivers that we'll have. There may very much be a part of that big race that's coming up. Huge racing, lots of action, of course, coming up this month and next month from real life racing's coming back into it's kicking up into gear, of course, with with NASCAR and the IndyCar promo that came out just recently. And that's all the hype there. Fox will be promoting doing the IndyCar broadcasting, stuff like that. Formula One, of course, will be returning for the testing in next month there, and heading to Melbourne for the first race of the season. So it's just so much action going on there, Jim.
Yeah, it's an exciting time of the year. You know, you got the 24-hour at Daytona, Rolex 24-hour coming up this week online, and then I believe it's next week or the week after in real life. And yeah, it's a great time of the year to be enjoying racing. It's exciting. Everybody's getting ready for the new season. Everybody's got high hopes for their drivers. It's good times.
I believe my microphone will sound okay out there. I'm having some issues with it. Not tweaking it perfectly. We're just waiting for the drivers to finish up their qualifying session, and we'll get you that grid for this evening.
Yeah, they are just about finishing up now.
Just waiting for Christopher to do his cross the line. He already has his buddy the flagman waving it here at the part track. This is a crazy scenic camera, isn't it? It's going all around the place. Well, look at that. I don't even know what it's zooming into at the moment, but we got to grid to have a look at here this evening. So, Jim?
All right. So, yeah, I'll start us off here. I'll do the first page.
Thank you.
So, on pole tonight is Craig Korish, 144. That's pretty good time. 144.2. That's nice. Second is John McLean. I'm horrible with names. I apologize in advance. Third position is Andy White. Fourth, Tim Reed. Fifth, Harry Hartley Price. Starting in fifth. Our sixth is Boz Cutting. Seventh, Lee Anderson. Eighth, Scott Kostrick. Ninth, and the first amateur in the field is Tim Colmore, who also had a great showing in the practice race last week. Starting in 10th, Dylan Based Bliss, and 11th is Glenn Abelard, and 12th is Peter Duke.
Yeah, and behind them will be Philip Giles there, Sean Clark, Peter Woodmore there, Mickey Doolan, Oliver Zaleski, and I thought they were going, but they're not at the moment. Stewart. We got Adrian Hatfield there, John Johnson, the Double J there, Christopher Haynes there, Mark Wesley will be alongside him, and Barry Evans will bring out the field there. So you've got two people here are the biggest butchers of names with the drivers this evening, so I do apologize about that. Usually somebody in the booth is pretty good at getting that all spot on, but here we go.
Yeah, that's not us.
That's not us. No, that's fine, but please correct us on the pronunciation of those names, their drivers, if you can, of course, and later on, just send us a little DM or something.
And the funny part is, if you've ever done anything like this, you can say the names no problem when you're not reading them to broadcast them, but then when you go to read them, it's impossible.
On the backstretch, about to see Barney the flagman, of course, on the banking elevation of the real Daytona track.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that camera angle, but they are coming to green here. Barney's got his flag up.
Green.
And we are racing.
Tricky into turn one. Yeah, go ahead. This is
no, I was gonna say he got a nice jump there with Gene McClellan right behind.
Oliver went off into the fence somewhere. Can't even see him on the track at the moment.
I'll tell you what, these cars do not handle well at Daytona on cold tires. I did the Roar before the 24 this weekend, and cold tires were brutal.
Currently at the moment for our race, we do have Craig in the lead there from Sean and Andy White. You can see currently in your pictures. The little bit of an accident was, it looked like Harry Hartley Price had gone straight on into the fence on lap one. Let's have a look after this situation here. So, this is sort of choppy cam, so if you have small children, there. Just gets tagged, doesn't he? Goes straight on and says, "Oh, wait, it's the track version, not the oval." So, yeah, you can keep going, mate. You're going to end up catching up with everybody if you keep going straight through the banking elevation. But unfortunately, no, that's not going to work out here. Early days, these cameras.
The slowdown penalty would be brutal for that.
Yeah. Well, you imagine you just cut out all the infield, don't you? Look at that. That's about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turns or something like that. Bang, you're back on the backstretch with these lads.
Yeah, that would you'd be there quick too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually looking at one of the driver's name pronunciations now, and I got it.
You got it. Awesome.
Yeah, it's Dylan Based Blitz.
Dylan Blaze Blitz. So we'll go
Based. Yeah.
Base. Yes. So we'll I was going to say DBB. We'll call him the DB.
Well, he's the one that has the Mystery Machine livery on his car.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember that.
Yeah, and he messaged me this week telling me about how to pronounce his name and also the story behind his livery. I'll probably share that a little later.
All right. There he is currently on the moment in your pictures. He's 4 positions gained as well, too. So, Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you?
When you showed the wreck at the start of the race, he made a nice move right up the middle on the start, and looks like gained a few positions that way.
Oh, he did. I'm going to see if Tim Reed's going to make a move here currently as they get into the banking part of our oval part of Daytona. Let's see if Tim's going to make a run as they'll complete a lap. Now, you got a little kink, of course, into the track. I don't know what they call it, apart from just a kink. It's just to slow the cars down a little bit so that they're not completely doing Daytona things. Let's see. No, he's going to lift off. Chop it through here. Slice it to the left, to the right, another right. Of course, back to the left there. You're back on. You want to get a good exit out of here because this is your opportunity to turn one.
Very, very important. That's, arguably there's two turn exits on this track that mean everything. The rest are, just something in between. You got to get a run off of the bus stop area there, and also coming onto the back straight as well.
You clearly see I'm not doing the Daytona this weekend at the moment. I would have done my little homework on that one for the bus stop as you mentioned yet. So. Oh, well, he didn't get the job done just yet, but he has some time. We'll go back and have a look. We do have the job done from Peter Duke, and
oh my goodness.
Gets turned.
Yeah, well, you brought his name right up, and that one's on you. I have to hang that one on you. You went to the camera and everything.
Yeah, I wonder if it's also here with... Better look at that loop. That's Tim. Tim as well, having a separate moment. This is the only dangerous part about losing it here. You can come straight back onto the track.
On the other side, yeah.
See, there's a few cars there. I'm just trying to think, because no, believe it or not, nothing's actually coming up for that incident with Peter. But we saw that on the pictures. There he is there.
Yeah, and it cost him a lot of spots right there, too.
Here's Oliver Sobzowski.
Yeah, Peter's down like 10 spots after that. And something, Tim Colmore, that was him that spun. Yeah, he was leading the amateurs, and he's down like 12 spots right now. he was so fast last week. It'll be interesting to see if he can claw his way back up. He was significantly faster than most of the other amateurs in the field. So, it'd be interesting to see if he can dig his way back from 21st.
There's a few little battles. Craig's still leading. There's Sean behind him, Sean. Andy White a little bit further in the background. You can just see there now. Lee Anderson has Tim Reed on his tailpipe for company. You can see on his timing tower. Hello, everybody in the chat too. Rob, evening to you. And Rob is here. Mr. Rob Barker is here to support Lee GT. Sorry, I had to scroll that up for a second because we've got that little annoying love heart thing that YouTube has. Live reactions thing. I despise it. I have to turn it off there. I have to remember to turn it off there, James, because it covers the text of what people are typing.
Welcome, Rob. Good to see you out there. Anybody else out there, let us know you're watching. Tell us who you're here to support. Chat it up, and we'll chat back with you.
Or here to throw tomatoes at as well.
Yeah,
like it there. Yeah. Now, if there's any Lance Stroll on the track at the moment, that would be me.
Yeah, I'm not a big Lance Stroll fan myself.
He has a fan club, but it's a very small one.
Yeah, I mean, he does actually have
his way to get the Formula One, did he?
That was you know what? Did you see the thing? I hate to get off on a rant. Did you see the thing last year where he made the comments about people not belonging? And and what Max said something like, I don't remember what it was, but it was, basically he was sitting right there and Max like referenced him in the comment.
Here we go. This could be a run for the lead.
Oh, it is.
Craig and Sean. Or Gene. Is it Gene or Sean? Gene.
To be honest, I don't know. American, so I'm going to guess Gene.
Gene.
Yeah.
We got that one, Gene.
That would be my guess.
Gene's like, it's fine. I've got myself into the lead of this race over Craig. So he's been sizing him up there for a couple laps now and eventually got the job done.
He's got a nice little, just a kind of a red, white, and blue stripe situation going on there with the U.S. Navy stripe across the windshield. I'm curious to know what his affiliation, maybe he served or...
it's getting a little confusing for me, actually, because there's another league I did where there was a driver that had the U.S. Navy on his car, and that was in tribute to one of his family members that are long-serving, and then that had just passed. So I'm getting all confused. But anyway.
Well, I race Navy airplane liveries on most of my cars as a tribute to my time. I joined the Navy to be a pilot and ended up who was that went around there?
Mark Wesley. Go ahead.
And I joined to be a pilot, and then ultimately didn't make it because of my back. I injured my back playing football, and I was going to be a helicopter pilot. And my father was in the Army Air Corps, which later became the Air Force, United States Air Force, during World War II. So I run a lot of military plane liveries, kind of as a tribute to him, and just my fascination with military aircraft and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
how many times do I hear? That's the only problem, isn't it? Of course, there's nothing wrong with that with football in the United States or stuff like that. But I don't know if I had $1 for every time somebody said the injuries that they've had over the time, and that's an unfortunate thing. It's a lot of people would make it in football, of course, too, but everybody has these injuries at some point, unfortunately.
That was me.
Hampers on your future and other things as well too. But hey, it's sports. Everybody likes to play it.
It really pays you back when you get older.
Yes.
All those injuries catch up with you.
Oh yeah, you can imagine too. I mean, but if you never went pro for for it, you played football, whatever, all your life, then that you definitely feel it back later on too. Even the professionals do, of course. But then if they pocketed a couple of million out of it or whatever, then that's okay. Probably going to use that to pay
in the modern era,
medical bills off.
Kind of the way it is. But the older guys that played back in like the 70s and stuff, a lot of them didn't make much money, and there was no like retirement plan for them or anything. So there's a lot of those guys that can barely move, and they don't really have any financial support for what they did. It's different today. Obviously, there's programs set up for that, and they also get paid a lot of money nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that money you'll be able to use for your private medical, but you will need it later because it's stressful.
Nice little battles.
Yeah, there is.
One's
nice a little bit wide there. Tim Reed, who's putting the pressure currently on Lee Anderson. There's our Scott in the 199 machine up the road.
Yeah, Eugene's been able to hold that lead up front.
Welcome to the Clark Street, James. It's not Clark Street, James. Let's get the pond properly. Of course, our sponsor.
Clark St. James.
Clark St. James. There it is. Social and search for social media advertising. So,
marketing, yeah.
The Clark St. James. Clark St. James, Daytona 24 hours. You're 33 minutes into it. You still have 23 hours. And just see if anybody's paid attention. Go, what? Of course, that's on this weekend. Max Verstappen was racing again. I saw him preparing for the Daytona 24 hour in a little event that they had.
6 hour. Yeah.
6 hour, yeah. Just a little bit of a
see what happened?
No, I didn't.
He had an incident on the first lap. He apparently locked up the rear tires and did some damage to his car and another car, and finished the stint out. And then he actually went into the broadcast booth and talked with the broadcasters about what happened and everything. Which is, how cool is that? In virtual online racing, and Max Verstappen takes the time to go into the broadcast booth and get interviewed. That was awesome.
He didn't attack a tantrum?
No.
He has had a couple of tantrums in the past.
No, he didn't. He didn't rage quit or anything.
Yeah, a little hissy fit saying it didn't go my way, so I'm going to just...
the guy's so competitive, man.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
a
Formula One driver in their spare time just jumps in a racing rig as soon as you can. Like, I mean, all the other Formula One drivers are sitting on the yachts in Monaco or doing other events and things like that. Max is like, nah, let's go straight into my racing rig.
Yeah, well, it's funny. There's a lot of those Formula One drivers that do sim race. Fernando Alonso is seen a lot. He races, when he jumps on, he usually races like the Formula Vs. Like the little Formula cars.
Little starter cars in here in our racing.
Yeah, and he just, and he gets in there. Imagine the thrill for some rookie on iRacing to, literally be in a race with Fernando Alonso, So that's cool. Like, it's hard to race Max because he races top split, shortcut.
Team Radline. Yeah, it is. With Team...
that's going to get him a slowdown there. Radline. I wonder how he's going to handle that.
It will, actually. So Tim Reed was fighting to get past Lee Anderson for some time now. He finally did get past and made a little bit of a boo-boo there, hands that position back to Lee Anderson, and now Tim Reed has to do it all over again.
Yeah, that was... that's easy to do in the bus stop there. I raced it, like I said, in the Roar before the 24 in a GT4 car, and I had a couple times where I overcooked it through there. It's so easy to do.
Oh, you give us a story about DBB here for Dylan.
Okay, so this livery is inspired by a Porsche Cup driver, a real in-life Porsche Cup driver, who has his dog on his paint scheme. So Dylan did the mystery machine, and he has his dog there on the hood. His dog's name's Kona. And so that's where this idea for this livery came from. And we got Kona riding on the hood there, which, I'm a big dog lover, so more props to him for doing that.
Excellent. There it
Yeah,
is.
he's,
So, there it is. Hello.
Hey, there's Kona.
Who's a good boy?
Yes.
Absolutely. He was also on the rear of the previous car that he was driving in the first promo race, because I remember seeing his car on the back as well, the dog on the back.
Oh, I thought Scooby was on the back.
No, it was his. You can see it right there. It's stretched
okay.
out a little bit on this car that he's driving at the moment.
Yeah.
He's in the McLaren. But you can see it. I think that's a picture of his dog, actually, as well, not to Scooby. So, good on him. And thank you for letting us know that.
Yeah, he shared that with me this week. It was good getting to chat with him. Nice fellow. One of the few Americans in the field here. Speaking of Americans in the field, we happen to have one leading the race right now.
Yes, we do. With John.
I'm gonna go with Gene.
Gene, sorry. Yep.
Me.
Phil.
I don't know.
And Craig.
It could be either.
Corish there, Phil Giles. That's a battle currently at the moment he pitches there for P9. As that, what is the elevational test? Of course, Jim, you know that's the banking elevation here at Daytona.
33 degrees, I believe.
Thank you.
32 or 33.
I think it's probably 33, isn't it? Because it's like going to make that 33.333 recurring if you want to divide.
It's not quite as high as the fake iRacing Super
That's
Speedway.
Right. Yeah.
It's about the same as Talladega.
Wait, the iRacing Super Speedway's real?
Yeah,
it's on the pictures. All right,
it is.
Yeah, so it's real. I've been there.
Yes, I know you have. Last week, in fact, that was
for the first time. Actually, I was speaking to other couple of leagues, going, "Why aren't you guys doing it?" And they're humming, hurrying about it. And I'm saying, well, if I'm going to broadcast it, I want that race. I tell you, we'll be talking about this as well too. No, I want anybody in the chat to let us know if the AI is good enough. We start generating some AI tracks in the future as well too, based off all the popularity ones, and throw that in there, and then give the drivers an hour, right? 1 hour of a practice, so that the track's generated. Bingo! It's a surprise track. You throw it in your calendar, okay, for one of these a season. You give everybody an hour to practice for it, and then you go for your regular qualifying and race and see how that pans out, because I think it'd be interesting. That way it's an even Stevens playing field, because sometimes some drivers like, I've had days, I know this track like the back of my hand, or some drivers like, I've just downloaded the track and I'm just getting used to it now. Like, if everybody had to get that track and only have 1 hour to practice,
I mean, that would certainly benefit, in my main league that I'm in, the Old Guys Racing League. We have a guy in there who's one of those type guys that just shows up at a track and in 10 minutes he's fast, and I'm not like that at all. It takes me a lot of laps to remember the track and to get a rhythm. And, some people just learn them fast and others don't. I mean, that being said, I've always been a little slow, so it takes me a little longer, but too many hits in the head when I was young. But we got he's 10 minutes and he's as fast as these aliens out here. I mean, he gets up to speed so fast. That would be interesting, though.
It would be interesting.
It wouldn't work for me.
Well, I mean, you never know. Yeah, some people are still. You never know if you can sell quickly like that. I mean, it's.
I just think it's fun. It's your style. Certain tracks you just show up to, and you just love them. It's like the Nürburgring. It's like the Nordschleife.
You wouldn't know if it would suit your style, of course, until the track is generated, and then you actually get to throw your car around. A big battle happening out the back here for 18, 19. You see the pictures. But on top, I just think it's great. And they've got to start doing that a little bit more, I think, and utilize the fact that we've got this virtual abilities. You can't do it in real life. You can't do it in Formula 1. You can't do it in any other motorsports generally because of the fact that it's too unsafe. You can't just move a track around and go, okay, how's this going to work? And bang, all of a sudden there's a safety, somebody gets seriously hurt because you've got a plan on safety. You've got all these tracks have years. We've got a little bit deep there, Mickey. And, all those years and years and years, they know where the safety elements are of tracks and stuff like that so that they can build around that.
Hey, Lee Anderson just got back by Tim Reed. There was a quick pass back there, or up there, I should say. Did that show up where we can catch a replay?
Yeah, certainly going to have a look at that for sure. We don't want to miss that action, as you said.
No, absolutely not.
Turn 1. for the Geico restart zone. Bang across the start-finish line, side by side.
Oh, my
that's
goodness. Look at that.
Yeah, bit of door banging. We got beef, mate, perhaps, on the dinner tonight.
Well, okay. So,
yeah.
Well,
there's history brewing between these two.
He did the right thing there. He gave the position back, at least. He didn't. Yeah, that was a little more interesting than I saw it on the timing and scoring. And I'll tell you something else I've noticed on timing and scoring is Andy White running in second place, driving on the Mercedes. He's turned the fastest lap of the race so far, but he is consistently, I say that, the last one he did not, but he has consistently been turning faster laps than our leader, Gene. And I just, I wonder if there's something going to be brewing up there, because it seems that Andy has been really, really fast in the past few laps. But also it looks like Gene decided to pick it up a little bit there and started, maybe Andy was getting a little too close.
Well, Baz is getting close. So's Dylan. Everybody's starting to get play here for the battle for P3.
They are.
And let's see if Lee, I just want to see Lee and Tim have this little, a bit of door banging happening between them. I'm going to go aboard with Buzz, and we're going to check it out from his Baz cutting. Whoa! There it is. So they're getting argy-bargy, mate. I'm telling you what's happening right now. Yep, Tim Reed's going to have to lift off there. We'll allow Baz, we'll have to lift off there a little bit. Dylan's here in play. There's a Scooby-Dooby machine. So this is action here currently. 21 minutes down here and 23 minutes to go. So close to the halfway point.
This is getting thick right here.
We got a couple of drivers heading down a pit road as well too. Phil Giles, Starrett, and Mark Wesley. They're heading down there for their scheduled pit stop, my friend. And we don't know when the rest of the field are going to start going into.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those times where you maybe look at doing something early as soon as your window opens up, possibly to undercut or get yourself out of some traffic if you're in some thick traffic somewhere, and get yourself some clean track and run some faster lap times. Certainly, that battle right there from 4th to 8th or 9th place is heating up for sure.
There you go. That is your banking elevation, and that's not even the deepest, favorite. As you said, the super speedway at iRacing Super Speedway. A little bit more than that, but look at that, Daytona, and that's going into pit lane entrance right here. In fact, look at that. Look at the cut through that Lee did go on the pit lane entrance, so they're both coming in. Both the Scots are in at the same time, so it's a Scottish town meeting down there in pit road.
It is.
Look at these cameras. Absolutely, I do apologize. These cameras are horrible for Daytona since some of the updates. So we need to go through. I need to go through and spend about an hour. It takes about an hour to go through and change all these cameras. Anyway,
so a little update on our amateur leader Tim Colmore spun on lap 2 or 3 there early in the race, back all the way down to 26th. He's climbed his way all the way back up to 12th place in the race. Second in the AMs. So in about less than half the race, or right around half the race, he's managed to get himself back up to 12th place. So that's second in AMs, and AMs right now are being led by Glenn Ablard, and Glenn's in a Mercedes, and he's currently running in 7th place overall, which is a really nice showing. Really nice showing.
Good thing about never giving up there. Winston Churchill there, but Tim, never give up, you'll never surrender. And this is the moment that Tim had at the very start of the race, like as you could see from give or take up the front of the field. There was a spin in the background as well. I don't know why, if that threw him off. He might have been looking in his mirrors at that point, because if you see, everything is all rosy-dozy at that point. There was nobody around him. He didn't have any contact with anybody. He was a little early into the corner. We'll go back and have a look at that one, because we are seeing our race leader pop on down to pit road.
Yeah. I like Gene's paint scheme there. I like it.
And just driving through all the boxes. So they don't have that rule here in the Tazo Racing Group, because
No, they don't.
In some other ones, you're not allowed to just drive straight through all the pit boxes.
In the ones that have a rule, they usually allow you 2 or 3, maybe even 5 at the most. It does get a little confusing.
This is the only camera I can show you currently at the moment of drivers in the pit box.
That was fast.
It was.
Gene got in and out of there pretty quick.
Andy White's going to be the lead. Is Tim's ahead of him as well, too? Just wonder if he's going to get ahead of Dylan there. Dylan's out. So who was that that's scooting on by there? That's Tim. There's Tim.
Yeah. Well, he's in second now because he hasn't pitted yet.
Exactly.
So, and he's got some relatively clean track up there, so he can put down some fast lap times if I don't know how much fuel he's got left to do that, but you light fuel load and got a clean track, that's a good time to lay down some fast laps.
Scotty and Tim.
These tires don't wear bad here at all, so tire wear should not be an issue.
They don't wear bad. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, no, it's not too bad. Majority of this is on the banking, so, and that doesn't destroy these tires too bad at all. There you go.
I'm leaning in.
Still one of my favorite camera angles ever. I love it.
I'm leaning in at the moment. We'd be like leaning in on poor Tim. Tim would be like, get off me, I'm trying to drive. As we're riding shotgun. But of course, Tim will be seeing this view right here. He won't be looking at the gyro cam. Nobody would be bold and brave to drive iRacing in the gyro cam. Unless, of course, you have a motion rig. I know there's a couple of drivers that I do broadcast for that have full motion rigs, but they wouldn't have it elevate that much. They don't elevate that much.
I can't imagine you being fast. As fast in a motion rig. It would have to throw you off some.
Yeah,
it just seemed like it would have to.
Absolutely. For sure. I mean, now, look at the Formula One esports. They drive in T-cams. They don't even drive in cockpit view.
Yeah.
That kind of peeves me off a little bit. You're supposed to be the best in the world driving a cockpit.
So
Tim's in.
Yeah, so I was looking at that. So we got Gene's back in the lead. Andy White's back in second again now, and Dylan is him and Kona have moved up to third place, but he's got Boz cutting all over his rear end right there.
There it is.
That's a nice little battle right there.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is. I was waiting to see there. Sometimes they'll take that hard inside line there and try to make a pass right there.
Not just yet.
The draft is so strong here too.
So let's see if Buzz is going to be last of the late breakers down into the bus stop. No, Alex, not just yet. So they've got.
I just realized Buzz is driving that Acura.
Mm-hmm.
The new Acura to the series this season.
Yes, absolutely. So we do have a good field there. We have just about every car that is available to everybody. Up the road there's the McLaren.
I do not see a Mustang.
No, you're absolutely correct out there. There's the Corvette.
I see a Ford Mustang. Yeah, Corvette.
There's Ferrari, Porsche. There should be a Lamborghini. Yep, there's a Lamborghini out there. They're running a little bit further here. You're right. I think that's the only one we may be missing.
Yeah, I don't see a Ford, which is surprising. The Mustang.
Oh, they break down, but that's probably the reason why you don't see a Ford, mate. It's probably broken down. Couldn't
Oh, here we go. Stop that. You're Australian. You're supposed to love Ford.
No, Ford just broke down, mate. They used to make them in Australia, but off to the kid a little bit. That's Lee Anderson behind them.
But no, the Fords now, the bop for Daytona may have gotten it, because everything's a little whacked right now because of the performance updates that iRacing does for these big special events. But the Ford typically has that big V8 horsepower, which is usually great on these big long straightaways here. So, and there's not a lot of tight turns on this track. So you would think the Ford would do pretty well. I know the Mercedes have been extremely fast at Daytona all week. Everything that I'm seeing, people are saying the Mercedes is the car right now.
I'm just wondering if the drivers, and this is one for the racing league, if they've already locked their cars in for the season.
Yes, well, this race locks it in for them.
Okay, so that's probably the reason why they haven't chosen the Ford. Maybe
probably
because
so. That's true. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
The performance updates and stuff like that are probably just occurring or whatever, and they've already chosen their car before.
Yeah, no, and that's it. From now on, the rest of this season, and that's a good point to bring up. The cars they have chosen, they have to race for the entire season. You cannot change manufacturer. So this is it. Yeah.
I think sometimes you should be able to allow maybe one change, because that's the thing. If there is an update with a car or cars midway through your season,
that makes sense.
But then again, it's a lucky draw. It's a lucky draw, isn't it? If that performance update happens to help your car that you've already chosen at the start. I mean, nobody knows specifically unless you've got some sort of inside information that you haven't sharing.
And it's kind of like real life racing in the sense that these manufacturers, they come up with a little upgrade to get them a little faster or something,
update,
and it kind of pops in the middle of the season. You see that a lot in Formula One.
Yeah.
So I guess that's not really any different. I personally kind of like the idea that you have to race the same car all season. To me, it adds a little more realism to it, because if you were driving for a team, you would be in the same car all season, and I like the concept of that myself.
I agree with you now. I think that's right. I'll take back what I said about making a change that way. No, I think that's the lucky draw here, exactly. So if your car happens to get a performance upgrade and that's beneficial to you, then great. If somebody else gets a performance upgrade and it's beneficial for them, and you're going, damn, why couldn't it be my car? That's so be it.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It happens a lot in racing. You'll see mid-season somebody, they get a little performance upgrade. All of a sudden, they're significantly faster. So back up front, we still, Gene is pulled away from Andy a little bit now. And there's a pretty big gap back to Dylan in third place behind Andy. But Dylan's got he's got all kinds of animals chewing on his back end right there. Look at that.
What's the capacity? Whoa! Oh,
they're bumping. Is that Lee and
yes.
No, that's not Lee and Tim Reed again, but. Yeah, it's Lee, though.
That's Dylan and Baz that were a bit of door banging.
And then that Lee.
Tim Reed's in the mix here now. He like getting his elbows out, but a door banging happening back here. So this is going to be very exciting. I wanted to ask you, you've probably been here before to Daytona. What's the capacity of this racetrack? Tell me what it's like.
It's down now. Back in its heyday, when NASCAR was at its prime, I guess I may be wrong on the years, but somewhere in the 90s or early 2000s, when when NASCAR was at its prime, this place would hold about 200,000 people. But they removed one of the things that when the popularity went down a little bit, I think it probably holds about 125, 150,000 now. So they removed some grandstands so that they didn't have empty seating, and they put in RV parking where you can rent these spaces where you can basically back your RV right up to the track and sit on the roof of your RV and watch and stuff like that. And so they did eliminate some grandstands. But years ago, it was like 250,000 at one time.
Wow.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Indianapolis holds, I want to say 300,000, but I might be wrong on that. But I think that Indy, for the Indianapolis 500, will hold about 300,000 people, I believe.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's fantastic, and you can see all the people. Like an iRace, and they just jam packed everybody in there. It's like completely sold out. They don't even have a spare seat.
Well, I tell you what, it's. I've actually never been to a race at Daytona. I've been to Daytona, and I took the track tour and got to walk up the banking and all that kind of stuff. But I did attend a race at Talladega, similar type situation, and let me tell you, when you're in there with 150,000 people in those grandstands, it is packed in there. It's crazy. And I'm a
It'd be
big
certainly
guy,
fun.
I'm a pretty big wide guy.
Yeah,
It was,
you said
you
there's
know, I was
6'6" or something
6'8".
like that. 6'8",
Yeah,
yeah.
6'8". Yeah. So my shoulders, it was a little tight squeeze in my chair.
That's fantastic. And the good thing about it too is I love it's still affordable. Like Formula One's ridiculous these days. My brother says it's a rich man's sport. I think you're totally right on that one. Look at the products that they've got, really expensive watches and all that sort of stuff. They have Rolex sponsoring it. I'm like,
oh, Rolex is cheap watches compared to some of those.
But still, like
those,
average person watching Formula One these days, like, I mean, who can afford half of that stuff? And the tickets, a couple of $1,000 for just general.
Richard Mille watches. Yeah. I know, like the one that Lando Norris wears is a $300,000 watch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And if you watch at the end of the race, there'll be a girl that'll walk up to him and hand him his watch, and he puts it on before he does interviews.
Yeah, they have to. They've got a contractual agreement to wear watches.
Yeah. And it's
if you look at it, they're not even set to the right time half the time. They're just there because the drivers.
Oh, they're probably set to their home time, and they're all over the world.
No. There's a Aussie photographer, Kim Ullman, that would.
I love Kim.
He's taken photos before of the. He likes watches himself, and he's taken photos of the watches, and he's caught most of the drivers the time of the watches are incorrect. But once again, it's just handed to him from marketing. Let's put him on there.
Michael came in to comment, and he said it's Daytona's now down to like 100,000 people. Yeah, that's what I thought, like 100, 125,000, something like that. Michael said, who has the fastest lap right now? Let me look real quick.
Yeah, let me show you up on the screen.
Oh, there you go, yeah. So it's still Andy White from earlier in the race with a 144.254. And of course, Gene is right there, 144.280. Very close. Oh, yours is showing backwards on here. That's interesting. Showing Gene has the fastest lap and showing Andy second. And this timing and score I'm looking at it has just the opposite of that.
Oh, that's interesting. It's 144. This is the best time for the drivers.
Yeah, 144. What 254 is what it's showing Andy. That's
I got 144.253, and Andy White just said it. It's just updated there. Thank you very much for that. Are you ahead in the future here? I'm broadcasting this. How's that possible?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
Well.
Yeah.
I actually have the iRacing broadcast up too, but I wasn't looking at that. So Andy White has made
Tell you what, you're speaking about Talladega, mate. You see it's under snow.
What happened to Gene?
Yeah, Gene's dropped out here, and that's it. There's Gene.
What in the world happened?
He's invisible. So, unfortunately for Gene, he's out for a packet loss. So I can't see him on the track. So he's got a disconnection issue, unfortunately, for the man that was leading the race. And
oh my goodness.
Super unfortunate for Gene. So, yep, I can't see him anymore, mate. That's why he's dropping off the timing tower. He had that much of a gap that he's not even literally on the track, and he's still was inside the top 10 for a while.
Yeah. Oh man, golly, I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate when somebody has a connection issue when they're, dominating, or not dominating, but in this case, but certainly doing a fantastic job leading the race.
And there's no real way of fixing it, because Formula One and the game has done, like, you go to a ghost to an AI, and you could jump back into that car within a certain period of time. But it's just, this is a racing sim. It's really hard to have an AI just take over. And then plus people can use that sometimes to cheat, because, they could jump out and let the AI drive for a lap or so and then jump back in and go, I was disconnected. But realistically, they're just letting AI drive. There's so many other different things. We got some good racing, but Lee Anderson's having a little issues as well too with me, but thankfully the connection's okay. There's an accident in the background.
Oh my goodness.
And if I could find it, Baz, he went off track.
Oh, and he was He was up there, right, nipping at their heels up there in the top three or four.
Let's go have a look what happened here. Absolutely.
So I'm having a wee bit of a connection issue real quick. I need to reboot real quick.
Oh, yep. There it is. So that's just kind of good out from his own. Okay, go ahead. No problem. Might be the servers too, because we're not the only ones having some issues. Bring back the 4-player split screen. Yeah, Michael. Absolutely. So, whoa, up the road there. That is Lee Anderson and Dylan going for a tooth and nail there. So Dylan, DBB, and the Scooby-Doo machine. Well, Lee Anderson, make sure he shuts the door on that one. Lee and Dylan's going around into the kitty litter. Oh, I knew he was flying through there. Just got a little bit out of shape. Got to bring it back onto the track there, kick off all the kitty litter. And he, just like that, will drop 2 places. 3 places, actually. They'll lose out to Tim Reed, Scott Kostick, and Craig Corish just by going off into the infield. That's how close that battle is currently at the moment for P2. Jim's going to just sort out some technical issues, and he'll be back in a minute. Hopefully he will be back to join us for the last, give or take, 3 minutes of our first race of the season here for Tanso, and that's Daytona, which a lot of these drivers will be at this weekend, and I'm sure a lot of drivers will be enjoying it as well for the endurance race. I'm going to be at Daytona in about, well, give or take 4 hours from now as well too, for another league race to broadcast, but that'll be the oval version of Daytona with Gen 3 cars. Scotty putting the pressure on Tim Reed.
Right.
Yep, he's back.
I believe we got it sorted.
Yeah, I was just saying before that, Daytona, because I'm going to be at Daytona in about 4 hours from the league. And that'll be
everybody's doing Daytona. I'm going to be practicing tonight, doing some Daytona stuff myself. The 24-hour race it's a big deal. So many people get excited about it. Even people that race oval do this race as like maybe one of their one-off, road races and stuff.
What, turn right?
Yeah. Yes, turn right.
They don't even have it built on the steering wheel. They don't know how to turn right. Oh, look at this.
I'll tell you what, one of the things I have noticed so far, Lee Anderson is a tough car to pass.
Yes.
How many people have, and I'm not saying he's wrecking people by any means, but how many people? Oh my God!
Whoa!
That was a full send
right
there.
There. We got. There's beef. There's beef here. Tim Reed's gone off, and this is there's beef here because
you think.
Yeah, look.
I think he's got a connection issue or something.
No, I know. I don't know, but have a look at this because he was flashing his lights down this main stretch. He was flashing his lights there, see?
Like a German businessman on the Autobahn.
Yeah, here we go. He's let him through, and look how he didn't slow down at all. There. Didn't slow down at all.
So can you go? I know that we have to do the rewind. Can we go back and watch like a half a lap and see if there's something that happened?
Yeah, I just want to see. We'll go back and have a look at this real quick. So he's on the inside apron. He's let him through here, right? Oh no, maybe. And he could be right. He just can't brake at all. Almost collected both the cars there. Sorry about that, Tim. I don't think there was probably any beef there. But I don't think he flashed his lights before, so there's either indication and he let the cars through to say he's got technical.
Yeah. Well, now he's certainly got front end damage there, and that's one of the wheels. Yeah, but I don't know. I'd like to look at that, but maybe mark that or something, and after the race, we'll pop back and just see what we think of that. Yeah,
I'm just going to rewind it back a little bit here, if I can, if we have time. I think we're on the penultimate lap too. So
well, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
No, there's something a little bit further. Anyway. There's contact. There's, yeah, I don't know. There's a bit going on here. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll play with it later. Interesting to see, though. I mean, a little beef is kind of fun, too.
Oh, it's good on the barbecue, mate.
Builds a little excitement.
You're from Texas, mate. You guys love barbecuing.
Yes. Yes.
They turn around and tell me you don't eat meat. And I'll be like,
yeah, I'm a vegan in Texas. That's pretty much
possible.
the hardest thing. Yeah, no, there's plenty of them here for sure, but this is a hard place to be a vegan. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I can imagine.
They got some good meat in Texas, man. The barbecue here is ridiculous. You know,
I know, mate. I visited Dallas and Houston and stuff like that. Fine, and I'm always enjoy it when I get over there.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm in Houston area, so down towards Galveston. If you ever been down that.
Go straight, Andy. Go straight. Don't worry about the bus stop. You don't need to be checking out. You can check in, but you can never leave. But you can. It's not Hotel California.
Oh, my goodness.
It's Hotel Daytona, and Andy will be checking out for sure because he's got his final sweeping turn 4 in NASCAR, of course, in the oval track that is. And then down the front stretch and go see Barney to get the job done. Andy White, congratulations. You won Daytona.
Yeah, good job, Andy. That was... And you had a great battle going there. It's really unfortunate that Gene had that disconnection. Congratulations to Lee Anderson on a hard-fought second place. You know, Lee was in battles all day long. And nice finish by Craig Korish there. And look at Glenn Ablard, amateur, finishing 5th overall. What a nice run.
And Glenn. He's new to the series.
Kona and Dylan Base Bliss finished in 4th. Yeah, there was some good racing there. Some exciting stuff. And Tim Colmore managed to get himself back up to 11th place overall after that unfortunate spin early on. Still a good showing, 3rd overall in the amateurs. So still a good showing to recover from that and finish 3rd overall. I'll tell you what, Andy was fast today.
He certainly was. And, yep, a few of the drivers, as you'd mentioned, were with Gene. That would have been interesting to see that battle.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that. Do we have, real quick, can we go back and look at that Tim Reed thing and see if we spot anything there?
Yes,
I really want to grab Tim and bring him up into the booth, but I'd like to see what's.
I don't know where he is.
Going on.
You can grab him, but I don't see him.
I'll see if. Oh no, he might not be too happy.
No, there's some drivers around there. Let's have a look because this is beef brewing up, or at least we think. And there was a bit of door banging. There's a bit of door banging that's been going on for some time. This is the battle currently. You can see here that Tim had. Now. With Scotty, actually, shot cross stick. So that's typical. It's a bit of door banging. That's normal. There's a little slicing and dicing, cutting off. We'll get to the chopper, and then we can probably see things barter. And so here, banking up there, he's flashing his lights again, isn't he? So I don't know why on that one with Tim Reed's flashing his lights. It's either to say good day, mate, or hey, move out of my way, which he doesn't. After it's not Tim Reed, that's when Tim Reed slows down. He flashes his lights now. He's flashing his lights. My apologies. And then he's coming in hot. That's interesting on that.
I don't know, man.
Something's broken, or he's deliberately.
That doesn't look like beef, though. Why would you let him go? Only to wreck them,
why would you come in hot like that in the corner?
Well, I know I'm saying technical. Yeah. I'm thinking. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out in some of the interviews or something. But
if we have interviews at all to find out about that, but we have our race results to go over, my friend. Here we go, Andy White.
Yes. Go ahead.
Lee Anderson, Craig Korish will be on the final stop at the podium. Dylan. DBB, we're calling him right now the number 97 machine, and Glenn Albert will get the AM victory there ahead of some of the pro drivers of Baz Cunningham, Harry Hartley-Price, Peter Woodmore, Oliver Subslusky. I think he's told this one before there. Phil will take P2 in the AM class. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think it was Oliver Subzinski, I believe. I'm sure we're butchering that one. Phil Giles finishing in 10th. Tim Colmore made it back up to 11th. And by the way, Phil Giles was the second AM, finished second in the amateur, and Tim Colmore finished in third, last on the podium in the amateurs, which is a nice recovery. Peter Duke finished in 12th after that incident he had earlier in the race and put him back. Sean Clark in 13th, and Adrian Hatfield, Stuart Brierly, Mark Wesley, Christopher Haynes, and Barry Evans rounding out that top 18 there.
I'll just scoot over to the next page. We've got some good information. We've got some information that's come out in the chat fresh off the press. There it is, Mickey Dillon, Tim Reed, John Johnson, Scott Karasik, and Gene, unfortunately, with the disconnection 6 laps away from the end of the race. Would have been interesting to wrap up the 23 Gladiator grid here at Daytona. And Michael's given us that information that he spoke to Tim, and he said his foot cramped up, and I know that hurts, and so he couldn't hit the brakes. That makes perfect sense as to why he came in hot on that one.
So I'll tell you real quick my little trick before we pull our winners into the booth here. I rigged up one of my clutch paddles on my steering wheel to be an accelerator so that I can take my foot off, like on the straightaways and stuff, and move it around and give it a brief rest, and I can hold that paddle in for my accelerator.
Almost like a cruise control.
Kind of, just for that. I mean, it's not something I can just let go of. I have to hold it in.
Yeah.
But it just gives me that, like on a straightaway like this, you got 3 or 4 seconds to, stretch your foot and whatever, and it does make a huge difference in the course of a long race.
Yeah, give yourself, there you go. This is a bit of a suggestion out there, Michael, if you let Tim know. Tim, if you're listening. That's interesting. I used to, when my pedals broke, I used to use the steering, two pedals on the steering wheel as an accelerator and a brake as well too, because I had a steering wheel with that. That's quite good because, your fingers are very accurate, just like your feet are. Only thing is you don't have that loaded brake cell to really apply that pressure. But hey, it's a fix, isn't it? I don't know if the drivers are coming in for any interviews.
I don't know. Let's see. Well, I don't even see our winner in there.
I don't see anybody in the top 3 at all. No. Well, Lee Anderson perhaps isn't in the chat, but it's up to Lee if he wants to come in and talk to us.
Well, is it? I'm looking to see. They do have a waiting room, huh? Nobody's in there. You want to just pull? You want to pull Sean Clark in and see what's going on with our?
No, I don't really want to just come in here, mate. It could be in a cool down. That's why they have a waiting room.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough.
I think we'll have to wrap that up there. So there you go. So there's your AM and pros combined. Of course, there's your pros in that one for the points that they'll be getting there. The 14 or so drivers there, of course, with the AM class, with the newcomer in town getting the job done with Glenn. 20-second gap over the rest of the field too. So fantastic.
Yeah, it was a nice run. 5th overall in running in the amateur class. That's a good showing.
Mm-hmm. All right. Any final thoughts before we let everybody get ready to practice for the 24-hour Daytona again? And I've got to go to Daytona soon.
Another good week of racing. You and I are going to work on some name pronunciations as the season goes on. We'll eventually get most of these down. And I would, if somebody knows in chat, I would love to know what happened to Gene, even after the fact. We can read it in chat. I would love to know what happened there because he was having a nice race. So, but anyway, that's about it for me. Another fantastic race, and we'll see these guys next week.
Take care.